It's Saturday. It's lunchtime. I just made the boys their lunch and we'd been out to the markets this morning when the boys stayed in the car, and I went and got our market veggies and we've come home. So that's been our morning. I didn't vlog yesterday. It was the funeral of our friend who passed away. So it was my first online funeral and it was a lot harder than I expected. It's hard not being able to be with the people that you love and just be there grieving on your own. And I can only imagine what it would have been like for the family. So yeah, so you know when you cry a lot and then you get that really big crying headache? I had that last night. So we were going to spend last night doing cozy reading night that Lauren the Books hosts, and that would have been my first one, and the boys were real keen, but it just didn't work out that way. So we're going to have a cozy reading day. It's a crappy day and I'm so here for it. It's kind of drizzly and cold, and so I am going to spend the afternoon reading. I'm not going to do anything else. Maybe watch some booktube, but that's it. The kids got their watching time now, and then we'll reconvene and do some reading together this afternoon. So it's going to be a good day. Okay, I am nearly finished Hinterland. I've just got that little bit to go. It's under 100 pages now. So I've been reading a bit of it while I haven't been chatting with you guys. There's this great build-up of anticipation, and it's very, very much in the background, this kind of undercurrent of tension, but we're still with the characters in their own individual worlds and still developing and the relationships between them all. So I don't need things to be wrapped up in neat little bows at all, but I do need to have a resolution or a pull together. So I'm hoping that by the end of this, there's some pull together of this anticipation element. But I'm just so enjoying it, and I have such strong feelings about each of the characters in their own different ways. So yeah, it's doing really good things to my brain. I've never said that about a book before. No, I'm really, really loving it. So yeah, I'm going to sit now. I've just made myself a nice warm chai, and now I'm going to sit and read the rest of this. So I'll wrap it up soon. Okay, I'll talk to you then. A great book. This is a 5-star read for me, and I'm so surprised by that. There's so much going on around me at the moment, so I'll come back to you with my final thoughts because I have heaps. This is a beauty, this one. Really, really enjoyed it. And yes, everything came together, that's for sure. Okay, I've got to go wrangle kids who are making a cubby house together that aren't really cooperating. Okay, the cubby wars have finished. So, and I finished this book. So, it's just, oh gosh, the salmon just went off. Hang on. Okay, the fish cakes are made. I've never made fish cakes before, so They're chilling in the fridge, and then I will shallow fry them later. This is a new experience for me, so hopefully they're yummy and the kids enjoy them because they're full of good stuff. Okay, let's talk about Hinterland. Whew, 5-star, 100%. This is about a community. Each chapter is a different character, so you get different points of view about, well, the central issue is a dam being built. So you've got your pro-dam people, which is an old writer who's being seduced by right-wing politicians and developers, and a kind of unstable dude that doesn't really know his place in the world but grew up in this town. And then the anti-dammers is sort of, you follow the main character, Eugenie, who's married into an old farming family, and she's trying to stop the dam, and the characters that she's involved with that. And then, what's beeping? And then you've got the town doctor, and in a small town, the doctor's, in amongst everything, really, isn't he? But that's not the star. The story of the protests and the anti-dammers and all that sort of thing, that's not the star of this show at all. What is Stephen Lang's amazing ability to build a character. I'm just going to shut this door because Danny's mowing, sorry. So you get kind of lots of... So the dam is the background tension, right? What's going to happen? Will it be built? What are these people going to do in order to prove their cases? Like there's this underlying tension that flows through, and that story develops kind of in the background. Each character develops as well as the story, and it's just this amazing progression through, introducing little snippets about the character's past and then answering them with some backstory later on, and then sort of the relationships of how they came to be in this little town, and then how they came to be on whatever side of the fence they're sitting on. So what I enjoyed more than anything about this book was that the underlying tension dam stuff, it gets resolved. So I wasn't left hanging with that. But the winner definitely is the investment in character. And I've read a few books this Aussie April, and I have not been as connected to any of the characters in the other books as I was to these guys in here. It's just a triumph. Like, I just really, really enjoyed being a part of this story and watching these characters move through all the tricky things, which are, small town problems, relationship problems. The stories of how they came to be in that town are really interesting, and you don't just land in a small town on a hinterland. There's a reason how you got there, and that sort of discovery about that as well. Now, naturally, this is set in my hometown, so there's a huge familiarity for me. The places, the names, the main street interactions, the school pickup interactions. Stephen Lang put words to a ton of my thoughts, and I really appreciated that. I've had some real thoughts about that, actually, because I grew up in a small town. I live in a small city. Nobody's writing about these places in the world. I don't live in London, where people have been writing about the places and the people there for hundreds and hundreds of years. So I've never had this much familiarity with a book. The only one I can really remember is Boy Swallows Universe, which is set in Brisbane, which is an hour down the road, our capital city, and that's very familiar to me, but nothing like this. And so there was kind of these thought processes going on of like, Stephen Lang's just sort of fleshing out characters around actual existing people, and an existing problem with the dam being built, because that was an issue, and it's there for him, and he's just kind of filling in the blanks. But then I realised that there's such an art to doing that, especially after having read Bruni by Heather Rose. Remember that book I went on that rant about with the bridge in Tasmania? He did this. Like, there's an obvious position here, but maybe there is an obvious position because it's my position, or because I kind of know about this author, so I kind of would know what side he would sit on. Well, that's a huge assumption. But nothing's imposed on me. I'm just told a really good story about really good characters. And wow, there is this kind of link to that Bruni thing, because that was about an issue, an infrastructure issue in a small community, and the different sides, the people on the different sides of the fence. But what I was never, there was not one soapbox in this book. There was not one sort of Stephen Lang deciding that he's going to write about his hometown and he's going to tell some truths and he's going to kind of, set things straight, or there's nothing of that at all. It was just really well presented. And the art in that is something I appreciate. And it really made me reflect on that. I've only just realised that kind of link with Bruni. This is so much better done than Bruni. Let me make that very clear. The man can write. This author is oh gosh, he is, to me, I really, really connected with his, with the way that he explained things, with his use of words, his use of language. His pacing was amazing. Like, I can't rave on enough about this book. I really, really loved it. So yeah, I think I've covered everything. I mean, if you grew up in a small town, or if you live in a small town and understand all the intricacies that come with that, then you would really connect with this book. If you'd liked a good character-driven story, definitely a great book for that. So yeah, 5 stars. I'm so glad I loved this book. It's been sitting on my shelf for years. And because I knew that it was set where I grew up, I was worried that I wouldn't like it, but absolutely love it. So there we go. Huge recommendation. So I put this on the top of my Aussie April stack. That's definitely the best book I've read this Aussie April, and I've read some pretty good ones, but there's the stack so far. So in amongst all of the cubby wars and all of that sort of stuff, I did pick up another book. I just browsed my shelf to try and take my mind off my constant need to negotiate between my children. I picked up Benang by Kim Scott. This is a First Nations author. Oh no, my tea. First Nations book. This is about cultural identity, I think. I don't really know. I think it's about a man who is trying to connect with his ancestors and his culture. And this, I'll show you what it says in his bio, because I absolutely connected with that when I saw it and definitely wanted to pick it up. Kim Scott is a descendant of people who have always lived along the southeast coast of Western Australia and is glad to be living in times when it is possible to explore the significance of that fact and be one among those who call themselves Noongar. Very cool. Even that bio just made me want to dive right into it. So I'm going to dig into it before I sort of fumble around exactly what this book is about. And then we can talk a bit more when I have a bit more of an understanding. I know that it was published in 1999, and I think it won the Miles Franklin in that year, but whatever. I think I am going to love this. It's another one that's been sitting on my shelf for ages. So yeah, I'm going to just dive into that for the rest of the afternoon in between cooking fish cakes. I'll show them to you only if they're a success, of course. No. Okay, let me get stuck into this. The fish cakes turned out delicious. There's salmon and smoked salmon in there, so quite decadent, but very yummy. I'm going to sit and eat my dinner and watch some Veep. I haven't picked this up at all. And everybody else is sitting down to a movie. So maybe after this I'll get stuck into that. We'll see. Guys, I got some new funny charms, did I tell you that? Anyway, supper served. I've read a bit. It's very cryptic and short and sharp, and really not what I need right now in my world. So I'm going to watch some booktube and go and have a super early night. The kids aren't even in bed, but That's just how it is. It's just my brain is not wired for this. I'll see you guys in the morning where we can make a decision on this. It's not bad. It's just not flowing very easily for me at the moment. It's totally about me. Okay, I'm gonna say goodnight. I'll see you guys in the morning. Night.